Hello YouTube. I just watched a video. Some guy did a video of the top 5 coolest wrestlers he's met personally. Um, I'm going to do mine. You may not know all of them, but if you do, that's awesome. If you don't, I'll tell you who they are. Number 5 is Naruki Doi from Dragon Gate in Japan. I went to the Dragon Gate UK show uh, back in February. I think it was in February. It was night 1 of the UK 2013 tour, and I believe between the show, uh, they were like at the merchandise table selling merchandise and getting photos, and like I asked him for a photo, and what happened was he was like, yes. I don't know if he speaks that much English. He didn't really. He understood what I was saying, so I think he does, and that's a good thing. What happened was when he did the thing where he stands next to you, he takes my camera and just goes like that. But the problem is, I'm like 6'4". He's like, I don't know, 5'11". So he's much shorter than me. Actually, most of the wrestlers I've met, I'm probably taller than. The only 2 wrestlers that I've really met that are really tall, I can't remember the name of the guy. Can't remember his name, but Chris Masters was one that was taller than me. I'm taller than most of the wrestlers I've met, which is kind of cool. What happened was the photo was horrible, and I just said, "Oh, this doesn't work because it's only catching the bottom of his head. It's only catching like this part of my face, so you can't even see my face. You can see his face, you can't see mine." So I said, "Do you mind if we take it again?" He was like, "Yes." And I was like, "Thank you." So I asked the guy who was like at the store with me if he could take the photo, and he did, and that was awesome. Number 4. This counts as 2 people in one, but they were both really nice. It's the Blossom Twins. They're from the UK. Their most famous, big claim to fame was appearing on TNA's British Boot Camp on Challenge TV, where they were competing to try and get a contract with TNA. They're a female tag team, and I was at the, I can't remember what company it was, but it was the Revolution pay-per-view at the Troxy Centre in London. And actually, most of the wrestlers that I met them at the Troxy. And they were there because they were having a match, obviously. But because me and my friend Adam, we had meet and greet tickets and front row tickets. We got to go to the meet and greet event at the beginning. So that was, that was cool. We got actually, he got talking first. I was, going to other stores and getting photos and DVDs from like the other people. I got to meet Mark Haskins and Sami Callihan, which that was cool. Sami Callihan was alright. My friend didn't particularly like him. He just found him a bit aggressive towards him. But he was nice to me. But when I came over, he was talking to these 2 girls, and I didn't know who they were. And I came over and they were like, "Oh, they're wrestlers." And like they just did not look like wrestlers. They just looked like normal girls, which is really cool because they were really approachable. They were really nice. They were really friendly. So we got talking about their work, that they did some stuff with OVW. We talked about how they met Jim Cornette, and they said he was a really nice guy. And I've got a photo of him. I'll post a link. Number 3. This is another guy from the show at the Troxy Centre. I didn't talk to him then, but I did talk to him at the Dragon Gate show where I met Naruki Doi. Is Marty Scurll. He competed on British Boot Camp, but he's also, other claim to fame is appearing on ITV, which is a television channel in the UK. He appeared on a show called Take Me Out, where he was competing to get a date. But I met him like one of his last few appearances for Dragon Gate UK because he was going to try and get signed to TNA. I talked to him about the match, and I said, you know, I thought you had a really good match, and he said like, oh, thank you. I got a photo of him. I don't have it with me, so I can't post it here, but he was nice. This is the second one. I've met him twice, and actually I met Marty Scurll 3 times, because the week after I went to another wrestling show in Aldershot, and he was wrestling there and in the main event. So he wrestled for a title match, lost that, and then won a battle royal in the main event. So I got to see him again. I'm like, small world. And he was like, that was awesome. Number 2 is another British wrestler that not many people probably know of, because he's still, you know, only starting his career, but he's already achieved quite a bit with Dragon Gate UK. But I met him, the first time I met him was at the Troxy show. Is a wrestler called the Lion Kid. He sort of looks a bit like Tiger Mask, except he's a lion. And I met him a second time the year after at the Dragon Gate show, where he wrestled Naruki Doi. So I told him that, and he was like, oh, that's cool, that's cool. But anyway, number 1. Number 1 is Matt M-Dog20 Cross. He was wrestling the opening match at the Troxy, and he was wrestling, obviously, I think it was a 6-man ladder match. But me and my friend Adam obviously got talking to him before the show. Actually, I think out of all of them, we spent the most time talking to him, because this was right after he got kicked off Tough Enough. So we talked to him about that. I talked to him about some of his earlier work with his stuff with CZW, his early TNA stuff from like back when it was, I think, in Tennessee. So I think that's where Jeff Jarrett's from. I think that's where he started it. Yeah, I think it was Tennessee. But just, you know, talking about, you know, all the wrestlers that he's met, and I talked to him about WSX. And he's like, oh, WSX, that was great. And working with Teddy Hart. One thing that I really, really wanted to know, and I kicked myself in the head for not asking, was the explosions in WSX fake or not? Because they looked so fake. Like, I really wanted to ask, were they like added in post-production, or did they really have like proper pyro? Because it looked like it was CG. I really regret not asking that. But okay, I know I've done 5, but I'm gonna add a few more. But these weren't as good. But I'm gonna mention them as like just honourable mentions. Chris Masters. I only talked to him for a few seconds because there was a queue, and obviously this was at the Troxy Centre. They were the main people at the thing. Kevin Nash was supposed to be there, but because the company that was co-promoting the event pulled out, those were the company that were paying him. Obviously, if you're not going to get paid, you're not going to show up, because Kevin Nash is, you know, he needs the money. It's the money, he needs the money. And if he's not going to get paid, I can kind of understand. It's a bit silly, but oh well. Yeah, Chris Masters was cool. My friend was wearing a t-shirt that said Chris Benoit forever, and he had a black eye because he injured himself. And like he's probably going to kill me for saying this, but he ran into a lamppost. Then again, he will be the first one to admit it, so I'm probably okay. But what happened was Chris Masters saw him and was like, whoa, that looks nasty. How did you get that? And he's like, ran into a lamppost. And he's like, wow, that sucks. You should have said that somebody punched you in the face. And he's like, no, I ran into a lamppost. And he then said, like, because he saw the Chris Benoit Forever t-shirt that he had, because, yeah, like, it's a custom t-shirt that you just sew the letters on. He just said, that takes a lot of balls to wear that. There's another guy that I met. This is another show. I can't remember what show it was, but it was can't remember what company it was, but I can't even remember the name of the wrestler, but he was cool. Because well, when I saw him in the match, he was wrestling basically, it was a comedy match. and he kind of looked like a guy with a big sort of comedy lumberjack beard, dressed like Randy Savage, and came out to the fucking hamster dance. And I went up to him and just said, "You have the coolest entrance music ever." And he was like, "Thank you." So I got a photo of him putting me in a headlock, and that was awesome. Another good mention is I recently went to an NXT show in Florida, in Tampa, because like a couple of weeks ago I was having a family holiday, and you know, because we're in Florida, I was like, why don't we just go to an NXT show? And we did. So I got to see Adrian Neville, also known as Pac. I got to see Chris Hero, El Generico. But the cool thing about that was they had a former competitor, Byron Saxton, who was like an NXT rookie. I think he was like Dolph Ziggler's rookie on NXT season 4. I think it was 4. But he was like, he came up to us and he was like, because we had tickets, because they had like 2 sections, 2 lines, which is ones you already have tickets, so they book them online, or ones that are going to go in and buy tickets. And like, because we had tickets, we were like, we're just going straight in. And he's like, so you got tickets? And we were like, yeah. And as he was like, okay, he just turns to me and just goes, nice shirt, because I was wearing a souvenir t-shirt that I got from Disney. It was a Nightmare Before Christmas t-shirt. Apparently he liked my shirt. So he's getting a mention for that. I didn't talk to him for that long, but he's getting a mention. So anyway, I'm going to stop now because it's getting late and I'm going to go to bed in a bit. So see ya.